I started writing in notebooks to get all my thoughts out of my head and on paper. I would write lyrics to imaginary songs. I couldn't play an instrument, but I heard entire rock and roll bands playing these songs inside my head. Heavily influenced by Prince and his movie Purple Rain, at age 14, I wrote this play called Living in Purple Worlds about a band that gets transported into an alternate universe and has to compete with other bands for their survival. It's like a life and death kind of thing. Just crazy. I wrote countless orphan lyrics with no actual music to put them to, until one day I was put on an airplane and sent to Texas to live with my father for the very first time in my life. My folks had divorced when I was around 2 years old, so this was a whole new experience for me. Prior to this moment, my life had been filled with, stickball with my friends, hanging out at the movie theater, and of course my endless search for a girlfriend. Within the first few weeks of moving to Texas and living with my father, my life took this drastic turn. Now, it was church 3 times a week, lots of Bible studies and prayer groups. There was no secular music allowed in the house. I'd never even heard the word secular before. It was all church congregation hymns or this stuff called Christian rock. And even that, my father and stepmother were very wary of. I actually had to go to this event where they were burning albums in a fire. All those albums I held so dear, gone, burnt up. The church was in fear of anything that they didn't understand, and I did not understand the church. Now, at home, my father was physically and mentally abusive. You've heard of the Bible Belt? Well, he used both the Bible and the belt as forms of punishment. Let's just leave it at that. Around this time, I was connected with the youth pastor at this church. He was a great guy, and he had this thing called a 4-track cassette recorder. And he, knowing I had all these lyrics in this notebook, invited me over to his place to record and turn these lyrics into songs. He played the drums. He had like a little Casio keyboard. He was the ultimate creative soul. Once I heard my shaky little voice with this music we were creating, I was hooked. This was my drug. I knew I had to do this forever. It was a long, long way from rock and roll. A living room, a microphone, a keyboard, and a book of lyrics. But I tell you, I could envision it all. It was all in front of me like a dream I could just reach out and grab hold of.